one way. Now you got to fly on their schedule.
Yeah.
But
and there are no frills.
And there's I mean no frills
on the wing.
But. Yeah, and I mean literally no frills. But if you can travel with one bag, and that's what I do. I have a little travel bag. I stuff all my suits, roll them in nice and tight, and I more or less go on with my carry-on. It's for $65 one way. You can be able to fly down to Florida. It's Sanford, Orlando, which is kind of like, I like to think of it as landing in Hamilton Airport versus landing in Toronto. But it's convenient. It's convenient. I wouldn't say comfortable. The chairs don't recline. There's nothing to put down. The little trays are about half the size of a normal tray.
The seatbelts are really just a rope that you tie around your waist.
And if you don't mind snuggling close to the person beside you, yeah. I mean, and I snuggle quite a few times, and it's a pretty tight fit. But I have to say, this is such a great price. I mean, my face is smushed up against the window, and I got somebody's armpit in my face, but it's such a great price.
Anything for a deal.
Anything.
I'd like to ask you. I got a lot of stuff I want to cover on the show today, but I wanted to ask you what's going on with Facebook. Zuckerberg has been in front of the Congressional committee. He's getting raked over the coals.
Totally.
And I guess the number one concern right now is that, you know what, you're just spinning this. You're not admitting anything.
Well, there's a couple things I can comment. Number one is it's frightening me as to, one, how much the senators don't know. There's a joke going around, and if you haven't paid attention to it, there's a few questions they've asked that even I had to go, really? Like, did no one veto these questions they're asking? Because no one did their research on what Facebook is in some cases.
Going on here? I can tell you right now, okay? These are people that most of them probably have very little knowledge. I mean, they can probably turn the computer on and maybe get onto Facebook, maybe get onto their email. So they're going to their staff and saying, give me some questions to ask this guy. Would you?
Yeah.
And they have no idea what they're saying.
Some of them are really, really out there. And what I'm really taking away from this, and I've said this to a few people and clients as well, is I see, in my opinion, that the situation that's happening right now with Facebook, they are a poster child. If we really want to look at the one that should be sitting in front of this, should be Eric Schmidt. And Eric is the founder and partner of Google.
Yeah.
That's the one that I look at and go, hey, Facebook, we had a reason to pull. And by the way, Zuckerberg volunteered. This was him saying, I have nothing to hide. We've made mistakes. I'm willing to speak to them. Ask me and I will come forward. Well, you know what? He did that. My issue is what's kind of being revolved around this is, should we regulate? Should we self-regulate? And already I was given an email, as many others in the industry. Google has already said, if you don't sign in and start giving additional permissions in the case of your data with Google Analytics, which tracks websites, we're deleting it. And they're basically, everyone's doing this. They're all on a Hail Mary of, quick, cover yourself. So there's a lot of action right now in all systems. And I really believe that currently, unfortunately, Facebook was the poster child for what we're about to see in the future when it comes to the internet and the regulations. It's almost everything we talked about with net neutrality is coming to life under a different spin. I can't understand or comprehend how that could have been done strategically, but that's what I really see here is we need, we're self-regulating is what we're claiming Facebook would do, but now the government's going, would you not oppose to us setting up regulations that you and other platforms available online should be following? And the answer is to Zuckerberg's comment was, yes, I believe that there should be some regulations. So it could be, I kind of sit back and wonder for those on the internet, what's about to happen here? Nobody knows.
Well, there's the old cliche, which seems to fit in this situation. There's anytime the government says, we're here to fix this, run the other way.
Yeah, this isn't necessarily a good thing. I mean, I'm not agreeing with anything that Facebook did. The best thing I can say is they've already updated their policies. Transparency of what they have. Delete your account if you're not using it. I mean, and the one you really want to be fearful of is truthfully Google. I mean, they've got more on you than Facebook ever did. I mean, and they're transparently telling you they're doing this. We spoke about it on TechTalk many times, but all this information is at your hands to be able to turn off, but you've got to be the one to go in there and do that.
Word to the wise.
Yes.
All right, let's get into this whole thing here. You talked about facial recognition before,
yes.
And you got a great example of how it's actually being used by authorities.
And again, kind of dangerous kind of situation here. A suspect in China. China is the first to implement the facial recognition into the authority side. China has officially caught last year 25 fugitives using their facial recognition system. And it was at a beer festival that they caught most of them. In the most recent, in the past day, China caught a number. He was a hacker. Everybody knew who he was, but he more or less was able to stay under the radar. Went to a concert from a Hong Kong performer, and they actually caught him in the crowd, 50,000 people. And that's scary and good, I think, in a way. So what happened was they ended up more or less going through a process of facial recognition, finding them, and police were able to apprehend them. And one of the other things they're coming out with is Google goggles, not specifically Google goggles, but a version of it will have a holographic image that will actually use the information from the facial recognition and run through a database through the goggles. So it looks, as everybody who passes by, think of it as those wild Minority Report video movies that you're watching. That's actually happening right now.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's the precogs, except they're basically forecasting exactly using all the facial history they've got.
All right, let's talk about credit cards. Some new innovations there.
Officially today, there's an announcement. I thought it's not really tech talk, but I thought it was relevant. But I thought interesting enough is that American Express, Visa, MasterCard officially today have removed the signature. Now, Canada has been one of the leaders in regards to removing a lot of the signatures. You'll notice that please insert your chip, or they'll ask you if you don't insert the chip, we're going to get you to swipe and sign on the dot or on the line. It's actually now credit cards have announced that they are going to be going specifically and clearly with a PIN system, and they're no longer going to be required to take a signature. It's really big in the US. A lot of American merchants are still using the signature process. So the credit cards themselves have said, we don't need it. It's up to the merchants if they want to continue to use it. It's just not going to do anything from the credit card side. So the days of signing your card are pretty much done. And on the back of the card where it says, please sign the, you won't have to do that anymore.
Did you?
No, never have.
No,
never. No.
Nobody's ever asked me about it either.
No, I got asked once and I said, I'm not comfortable. So they said, okay. So I thought, all right, I don't know what more to do there. But yeah, I wasn't comfortable putting my signature on the back of the card and having it there.
You have had questions about this, and so have I over the last little while, because we've talked an awful lot about Uber and now Lyft, and some people have said, I could use a few extra bucks. And these guys make a lot of money. Well, you looked into this.
I did. I thought it was relevant because we talk about all the things Uber's doing and all the things Lyft are doing, and I actually was inquiring, how much do they make? I mean, with all these new things anyone can do with Airbnb and Uber and Lyft, I mean, really, are they making more money than a guy like myself that's self-employed? And so I did some research, and the reality is no. They are running very similar. And this, by the way, is nationally, so it involves US and Canada. So Uber drivers are earning an average of $18 an hour. Lyft is earning $18 an hour. Uber drivers are earning $21 an hour. Now,
yeah, but there's a catch.
That's right. Thank you. So one of the things everyone uses is that's the gross amount, but you have to factor in expenses. And this is the part where self-employed people go through all the time. It looks like I'm making a lot, and now I got to factor a couple things. Number one, I have to, all Uber Lyft drivers are responsible for their own insurance, their own gas, the wear and tear in their vehicle, and the taxes. So when you take in all the costs that they have to accumulate from their income, it works out to $3.28 an hour to $8 an hour. So that's actually something of which I believe is there's a big cry going on out there in the world as far as like, oh, Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, they're taking away all the wages. No, they're not. And when you think about it, that seems realistic to me if you're a self-employed person, because you got to work a lot of hours to be able to earn a decent somewhat income. But it's a true testament of self-employed, and it's misleading. So if you're thinking, well, the reason why I thought it was relevant, if anyone's thinking about being a Lyft or Uber driver, factor that into the equation, is that yes, you will be paid $21 to $25 an hour, but after your cost, mileage, and maintenance, and it's going up. Remember that it's going up. We saw the gas prices and they're going up even more. So get ready. That's what you're going to be earning.
It's the plight of small business.
It is. Absolutely. I've got a lot of years behind that one in regards to
what do you mean I have to do that?
I know. Yeah. I made $100,000. Really? Yes. But I only get to clear 20 of it. So that's the reality of business.
Amazon. another wrinkle with Amazon. Talk to us about Wardrobe.
Prime
Wardrobe.
Prime Wardrobe is a beta system, and they're going to be launching it officially live. There's several systems out there, but Prime has been testing it, and it's going to go live. And I thought it was relevant to bring it up. You will soon be able, and this has been something I think you and I spoke about, is, geez, I'd like to shop for a shirt or a pair of pants, but I never know what I'm getting. And there's been some horror stories and even some social media photos of, I thought I got this dress and I got a football jersey when I got here. So Amazon's testing, and this is quite interesting. You pick your 3 products. You have to have up to 8. They will ship you all the products. You have up to 7 days to take the products, put it back in the box of the ones you don't want, and send it back to Google Prime. So the new way of shopping will be, I'll buy, it arrives, I try, I keep what I want, I put what I don't, and I ship it back to Amazon. So this is something which is going to be, I'll be bringing this up a lot more stronger probably in about another few weeks. I would say by the end of May, we will be able to shop online effectively, and you'll be able to get your products, put them on, and then send everything. If you don't, by the way, this is the catch. You don't send it back within the 7 days, then you will have to buy all the items. Yeah, you own all items, yes.
Retailers are just going, geez, here we go. Just
I can't wait for the guy that got busy and forgot on the day 8.
Yeah, exactly. You talked a little while ago about the Apple HomePod. Now, if you didn't buy one when they first came out, apparently you can get one at a flea market anytime soon, right?
Antique stores, I believe. It's they did not go well at all. In fact, they have bombed, and that's really rare for me to say an Apple product has bombed, but this one definitely has. They have a surplus of the Apple HomePods for several reasons. First of all, it's Siri, and they haven't fixed Siri. So there's a lot of people that have probably been irritated by it. It hasn't had good reviews. And really the main reason is Alexa. Amazon Alexa was the first to the market, number 1. Number 2, Amazon Alexa's voice system is quite capable of doing a lot of features that you just want one of your speaker boxes to manage. And right now, Alexa owns 72% of the market. Android is 14%, and less than 4% is Apple HomePod. So with that said, if you want to get one, I can honestly tell you they will be on sale. So don't buy one right away.
Apple TV.
You know what? We can get ready with Apple TV taking a next step. Remember the little boxes years ago? Steve Jobs said, we're going to simplify TV. It's going to make it so simple. Well, when you got $183 billion in the bank and you're wondering what to do with it, one of the things is you're going to start your own TV network. And we can expect Apple TV is going to be coming out very similar to compete with Netflix. And I'm kind of excited. I'm thinking I might actually buy into this. Number 1, they're bringing back programs and shows from the 80s that I thought were pretty cool. So one of them was Battlestar Galactica. Do you remember that show in the 70s? I mean, come on. I mean, I remember that. The number 1 is a reboot of Amazing Stories, Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories. That was a phenomenal series. The Hunger Games Catching Fire style drama. And there's going to be an actual regular morning show featuring Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. And it will be like a cable network program that you'll be able to watch. I don't know how entertaining they'll be, but I'm just giving an example of what they're investing in. So Apple Television is getting in the streaming. We haven't seen it yet, but we will be seeing it compete with pretty much everybody else in the market.
Incredible. And the poor networks now, ABC, NBC, CBS, and these guys are just scrambling right now. We were just talking with Bill Brio from Bill Brio TV earlier in the show. And they're bringing back Mad About You. They're bringing back Roseanne. All these,
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody's going to these other places.
That's right. Yeah, SCTV's now Martin Scorsese's going to be doing on Netflix. I mean, there's some pretty crazy programming that's happening right now. And you know what? Apple needs to figure something out because we obviously see their HomePods aren't going to be doing well. So we might as well try some TV programming.
You predicted a few weeks ago that Uber was going to get involved in the bike sharing business, and I guess they have.
They did, yeah. That was a rumor before. It's official. They purchased a company called Jump. I thought it was pretty relevant because, you know, as we see the bike program in Hamilton under, I think it's Sobe, is quite popular. Well, Uber is going to be bringing another competitive option to the table, and you'll be able to consider using Uber bicycling, very much in most markets in Canada and the US. So that I thought was quite cool. And following that with Uber, not only will they be able to use cars, they're going to be putting a rental service in place too. So there's going to be car rental, bikes, buses. I don't know how this one works yet, but they've claimed they are going to be operating a train system in Uber. So I haven't quite figured out if that's
involved in the LRT here.
Well, this is why I brought it up, because I'm like, maybe you know something I don't, Bill, but they've announced that Uber's going to be involved in the train industry. And I'm not sure how that works, if they're going to be offering cheaper tickets for train service or not, but you'll be able to rent and get access.
As with Uber, to use the old cliche, there's an app for that.
There's an app for that. And they're going to be building it through an app with all these features available to us. So the budget's the Avis in the world. I'm going to say they're going to probably need to watch out for this little Uber company that's going to be coming out fairly shortly.
All right, this one's scary.
Okay.
This thing that comes out, a new device that can actually hear the words that you're saying in your head.
You know what? MIT has officially tested and confirmed that they are able to hear your thoughts. The thoughts are actually triggered through neurons in your head as you think of a price, as you think of an item, or as you think of a processing that's happening. You'll be able to actually conjure the words on a screen, and it knows what you're thinking. I was using precogs earlier when we had facial recognition. Well, now there's actually going to be the capability of capturing your thoughts. Yes, I don't know how it's doing it. I'm obviously no scientist, but I understand to some capacity is that it's a little device that wraps around the back of your head, connects to your lower neck, and it actually triggers thought processes or something. But it's been proven MIT has the ability, and they showed a test of someone in a grocery mart as the young man with the testing unit on his head was looking at the prices. You could see he was thinking, and it was coming up with this price. This is how much, and he was giggling to himself, going, "I just thought that." So yeah, but where this is going to be scientifically so advantageous is those that are in a position that can't speak. If they're in a coma or they're in a position, we might be able to hear what their thoughts are.
Fascinating stuff and some great ideas. But I hope they don't use this in sales, though.
Well,
when you get a sales so that's my final offer. You said, no, it isn't.
I'm watching what you're saying to me. Yeah, you said you go this high.
You were willing to go lower. I know you are.
I'm more concerned about when you get caught with something, and this is our new lie detector. So, this is the part where every one of these technology products has two sides of a story. I'm not sure where this one's going to take us.
We do this every Friday, 11:35. It's Tech Talk with Adam Oldfield from FBM and FBM Free Marketing. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah.
Back after the break on 900 CHML.